Welcome to the show. You're watching Mandos. I'm Mandalorian, the X-Wing Jesus, and this is Grogu. So this is Mandos number 5 today, and I'm going to be going through. We are going to be going through. Although you can't really hear what he's saying, I get a feeling we're going to be going through the top Star Wars double acts of Star Wars. Duh. Anyway, so before we get to the top 5, let's have a quick look. There are absolutely tons and tons of double acts in Star Wars that you don't even realise they're actually there, but they're a thing. So the first one I've got on the list is Poe and BB-8. Now they form quite a big part of the sequel trilogy, but that's all I've got to say about that. They're a double act. Then we've got Rey and Finn as well. Again, that first film, Force Awakens, great double act. Don't really see it after that much. Then we've got go all the way back to Phantom Menace. We've got Anakin and Padme, proper double act. Then we're looking at in the Mandalorian. We've got Boba and Fennec Shand. Obviously, they're going to have a big one in the books of Boba. So he's just quite excited about it. And then we've got the whole of Spectre Cell. I know I did this for Heroes and showed, because they're all really, really good in that. There are so many double acts in that series of all of them interacting. I just couldn't not include any of them. Another one from The Mandalorian is Grief Karga and Cara Dune. Obviously, they're there as a double act on Navarro, and working well together. And I've got Builders next door. That's really good. Going back to the prequels, we've got Jango Fett and his son Boba Fett, or his clone Boba Fett. And so then we look at we look at the Clone Wars, and we've got Maul and his brother Savage Opress. They're quite a handful to deal with. And on top of that, there's Dooku and his apprentice Asajj. Also, we go forward to Solo, and we see Lando and L337. That was quite a good little double act for the first half of the film. Going back, we have Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. I didn't make it in, obviously, because again we're only there for a film. Leia and Luke, the twins, and then probably my number 6 on the list is Cassian and K2SO. Didn't quite make it in. And as you can see, we've gone to Scarif. So who could possibly beat Cassian and K2SO? That would be Chirrut Imwe and Baze Malbus. I am one with the Force, and the Force is one with me, or one with you. I don't know. I think these were just phenomenal. And the fact that, they showed that they would die for each other, and that just makes it properly really, really good. And we saw so much character put in. There was limited time on screen, but the amount of character they got in, and the proposed bit of history as well there, with being the Guardians of the Wheels and all that, and the great action at the end, I thought it was just phenomenal. And I love that. I'm one with the Force, and the Force is one with me. Yeah. Anyway, there we go. So that's my number 5. On to number 4. Right, and here we are on my number 4, and he's feeling a little bit nervous. He's not quite sure what's going on here. We have gone to Mustafar, where we see the final showdown from the prequel trilogy, or Fall of the Jedi, as it's now called. Yes. And we're looking at Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, this was where it all fell apart, ultimately fell apart anyway, but they formed an amazing double act, pretty much all the way through those films and through all the Clone Wars series as well. and to see them face off against each other in that final one was really, really good fight, I thought, through there. So that is my number 4, and I think that's a pretty good one. Number 3 next. Well, it's excited. Right, and here we are on the VAR. Now, number 3 is Din Djarin and Grogu. For the limited time we've seen them, we have seen a lot of them. We've had 16 episodes of amazing fun, and it's just been amazing. And the on-screen thing with these two have been, really, really good. That's why it's number 3. It's just too good. This little critter and the Mandalorian himself. Absolute, so much fun. Such a breath of fresh air for Star Wars after those awful prequel films. I know they are Star Wars, but they're not been up to scratch. So this is my number 3, Din Djarin, Baby Grogu. So, number 2. Right, and we are on Tatooine. And this is where our next duo met. So this is the double act of R2-D2 and C-3PO. And Tatooine is a big place for them. It's the first place we meet them in A New Hope 40 odd years ago. And then they actually meet in the that first prequel, Phantom Menace, during the fall of the Jedi, all those years ago there as well. So, and what a great duo! You see, they are the comic relief of the first 3 films, and we see them extensively through the first act of A New Hope. I mean, it's really, really good. And they go on. They have a lot of gags all the way through. And as a kid, I absolutely loved those two. Still do now. They're really good. 3PO, who knows why he's actually in there, because he don't really do a lot. He just gets in the way, and I think Han shows that quite a bit. He gets frustrated with him in Empire, and there we go. So that is my number 2. They are a fantastic double act, and so that's 40 years through all the Star Wars that we've seen those. They had their own animated series on top of that called Droids, and that's my number 2. Number 1 next. Right, before we get to the number 1 slot, we'll do a quick rundown of what we've had so far. So in number 5th place, we have Chirrut Imwe and Baze Malbus. In 4th place, we have Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. In 3rd place, we have Din Djarin and Grogu. Yeah. 2nd place, we have R2-D2 and C-3PO. So that leaves 1st place is Han Solo and Chewbacca. Chewbacca, that's the C-3PO, Chewbacca. Anyway, so it had to be, really. We've seen these again since the first story. And wait, where are you going? Come back. And we we see him first introduced in the cantina bar, getting drinks and stuff. Han defeats Greedo. I think Chewie had gone off with Luke and Ben to sort out the Falcon. And incidentally, the Falcon is its own character in Star Wars as well. And that forms a trio with those guys. So that's really cool. And we see 40 years of Star Wars again with those. All right, they weren't in the prequels, but they had their own film. Han Solo had his own film, meets Chewbacca. I'll tell it again, Chewbacca. Meets Chewbacca, and we see how they form their bond, really. Starting off, dodgy shower scene together as well. Unbelievable. And obviously, Chewie feels that he owes Han a life debt for that. So that was life debt for that. So that was really good to see. And then obviously when Han is defeated by or killed by his son Kylo, we see how much that means to Chewie, and Chewie goes absolutely mental. We could have seen Chewie go mental a lot more in all those films. That would have been awesome as well. But that has been my number one slot. That's been my top 5. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next time. This is the way.
Mandos, Mandos,